And as my guest always says, the red light is on. What is up, everybody? Aaron the dog back with the reason for the channel, really behind the scenes, ultimately. I use the StreamYard. I've been using it. The captain of Fight Bananas, more so just overall a legend in the combat sports media game, not just mixed martial arts, anything that has to do with, I think 2 or more limbs being hit against skulls and bodies. Mr. Dave Van Auken, how you doing, sir?
Doing
Legend.
good, brother. Doing good, man. How are you doing, bro?
I'm just trying to be like you when I grow up here and, just running shit. Obviously.
I've missed our – remember we used to, do 10 minutes on one fight, 8 months ago, a year ago. I love those. We got to bring those back, I think, dude.
Yeah. I mean, we're kind of doing that, with the 15 fights here. Got the full. I forgot to put up the banner, and I apologize for background noise. The dogs have warmed up for 268, so if there's a little background noise, apologize for that. But Dave Van Auken of the Dave Van Auken Show, definitely be checking that out. Check out Killer and the Bee. Let me take care of these dogs real quick. I apologize. But go ahead. Tell people what's going on for you this week and everything.
Yeah, man. The week that just passed, literally 4 podcasts in a row, every day, Monday through Thursday. We had Johnny Parsons, Dana White Contender Series 1. He just won the main event last week. Of course, our Felicia Spencer came on the show. Her and I just made a big bet. Very intriguing. Cannot wait to see. I won't spoil anything because it's a featured bout here at UFC 268. Maria Henderson, Ben Henderson's wife, came on the show. She's fighting on Bellator. We had Megan Cawley. She's fighting Saturday night for Combat Night. We had David Evans. It was a packed show. Next week is even bigger. We got Bare Knuckle, Bellator, and UFC. Felicia's on the road. Cody Law is coming on. He's one of my favorites coming on. And literally right after the show, I'm going to go coach T-Ball, my son, then drive into Pensacola, Florida, because I got to commentate Island Fight 70, main evented by the one and only Bo Nickel.
Yeah, which Bo Nickel, if you don't know who Bo Nickel is yet, you're going to know who he is very soon. He'll be on the Contender Series next year at probably 4-0, honestly. I think that I'm all aboard it. I mean, this dude does not stop. Yeah, that's Dave typing from my name there. Yeah, he's used to being the host here, and he's a guest in his own home here. He was able to stop the show anytime he wants, though. So I better kind of act right. But enough of the yapping, as it was referred to in a comment earlier this week. It was great. I had a comment earlier this week. I put timestamps in right after the videos, and there's a comment that said 5 minutes in, still yapping about bets from last week. You had to go around the timestamp comment to put that comment.
I love it. That's
extra.
So good.
You gotta.
How good is this card, though?
This card is card of the year. In a year where this is one thing I've really noticed about the pandemic year is that they're really making the pay-per-views stand out. Yeah. I mean, there was a time you can look at a few of the 220s, the 210s, the early 200s, where yes, at 200 they stacked it, but other ones where it's is this a fight night or is this a pay-per-view? This card, top to bottom, I mean, and we're gonna look at this card in a year with a few of the people on here and be like, how was he fighting fourth? Ian Gary.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Ian Gary. And I have a lot of thoughts on that fight as well because I'm not sure if he's the next Conor McGregor quite yet, or if he's maybe just another Patty Houlihan. So he's very young, and he's beat a lightweight who came up to welterweight. So don't want to talk about it too much. It's going to be a little quicker on some of the fights here. I'm going to just kind of be up front here. We got a little bit of a heart out here. We're busy people. Dave has 5 kids, maybe a 6th on the way. Who knows at this point?
It's only 4, dude.
It's only 4? Oh, my God. I've been telling people 5 kids the whole time. I swear, every time I see one of the videos or pictures with all, I lose. I'm like, there's so many. It's such a wide angle, but the force is strong in this one. He's got shoes to put on the kids here, so we're gonna go ahead and hop in. Not even unfortunately, first fight of the night. I'm not going to be able to talk very quickly about this one because CJ Vergara, Carlos Vergara, a guy who we did our Contender Series breakdown on, absolutely nailed him as an underdog. It was a beautiful performance against Bruno Correa from the Contender Series Brazil, taking on Ode Osborne, Jamaican sensation here. This is maybe one of the best opening fights of the year, if not the best opening fight of the year. This is I guarantee this fight will not be boring. 9-2-1 CJ Vergara, 9-4 Ode Osborne, 29, 30 years old. Both these guys in the height of their prime, athletic primes right now, 5'6" versus 5'7". Shorter reach for CJ of about 3 inches. Fighting on Pete Spratt, Muay Thai, Pure Vita, BJJ for Ode. I'll be breaking down Ode first. As I said, 9-4, coming off of a loss in his last fight, pretty brutal knockout of Manal Cape by Manal Cape in that fight, Manal Cape, whatever you want to say. Ode, he was looking good through the first round, honestly. But I also just was like, when we finally saw Manal hit the gas was the first time I feel like in his UFC career he finally put his foot on the gas, and we kind of saw how good Manal could be. Manal missed weight for that fight, so missed weight pretty heavily in that fight. Also, I believe he weighed in at 130, if I remember correctly. But so at 125 to miss weight at that level, no one remembers that because he finished it by a flying knee. So, but Ode has kind of had brain farts, and when his brain farts happen, they end up resulting in fight-ending maneuvers for his opponents. He just was really sloppy getting to his knees and to his feet against Brian Kelleher, a guy known for his power guillotine, got guillotined by him. That was at 135. He really seems bound and determined to get to 125. His only good performance, though, was a catchweight fight against a 125er in Jerome Rivera, who's one of the worst 125ers to ever be signed to the UFC. And I love LFA, but he never transferred over. And he threw a naked leg kick, as I think I said, and absolutely knocked out. Good to have you here, Indigo. Ginzo, one of the new subscribers, followed me along on the Johan train this Tuesday to get a plus 315 underdog. Clean knockout. But anyways, on the Contender Series, got the armbar finish at 135. I just don't think Ode benefits from going down to 125. I think that it significantly diminishes his ability to push the pace as well as his ability to take a shot. And that is the main thing you got to worry about with CJ. Shots to the body, shots to the head. This guy is athletic at all times and nonstop kind of pressure. His defense, terrible. Both these guys' defense, terrible. Frankly, it may come down to who lands the first heavy shot, because it might. Right. It is one of these 125ers. I would absolutely say under 2.5 rounds. It's whoever gets got first. I really like CJ Vergara, not just because he cashed as an underdog on the Contender Series, but Fury FC, former flyweight champion. I love Fury FC. How he was able to look over there in his fights, too, was really impressive. The Jacob Silva fight got knocked down, hit really solid by Jacob Silva twice in the first round. Now, the other argument can be you got knocked down twice by Jacob Silva. Yikes. But came back, fought through adversity. He is not a guy who has to win rounds to win fights. Right. And that's something I'm on CJ Vergara here. I think this is a crazy value spot here. Plus 150. I already bet on it. I'm going to invest in it again. I don't think he should be an underdog. Ode should be at 135 also.
Okay. So if Ode makes weight, and you're telling me that CJ from the Contender is going to make his debut for the UFC on the biggest card of the year in front of the biggest arena, Madison Square Garden in New York City, against a Jamaican, give me Ode all day long. Ode, 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 Ode money. And I agree with you. Under 2.5 all day long, he gets the knockout. Something special we're going to see here. I love this fight, too. It's going to be you can't miss this fight. If you love MMA, you cannot miss this fight.
No, and obviously, as you all know, I'm going to be there live. I think I've said this once or twice. I'm the first person into the arena. I've been the first person into the arena for my last 3 UFC events. It's going to be for this Saturday, and I'm not moving. And there's something about the early prelims. People don't get there early. You can hear every shot. And in a fight like this, it's going to sound like literal fireworks. We say that all the time. This fight's fireworks. This fight's fireworks. But I mean, there's a lot of people feeling like Dave Van Auken out there because minus 185 for the
it's a little rich. It's a little rich because it is.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's a little rich, a little crazy, but it's a feeling. Jamaican. He's been in the UFC before. He's coming off a loss. He's pissed off. If he makes weight, and usually, I know you do this usually later in the week or after weigh-ins. If he looks good at weigh-ins, all day long. Maybe, and don't even bet him to win because that's minus money. Probably bet him with the prop with a TKO or a knockout. I bet you that's in the plus 150 range, 135 range, and that's what's going to happen if he's going to win the fight. Miz, if you guys think this is the energy, you haven't seen my show yet. All right, you haven't seen the Dave Van Auken show. I haven't even got started, babe. We haven't got the Gaethje and Chandler yet. I'm just getting warmed up.
So this is just a little hilarious aspect. One of the books I use is Bovada at times because I'm in areas where it's not as easy to bet. Currently, Ode Osborne is a plus 130 to get inside the distance. Still not as heavy as the plus 150 on CJ Vergara. I think this is a little bit of being cozy with that you're familiar with. But again, his only win is over Jerome Rivera and Armando Villarreal on the Contender Series. I believe Armando Villarreal is 5'4", bantamweight. So, like I'm just saying, Ode Osborne is not a full-time fighter still. He's still a teacher because he hasn't had the results to be able to become a full-time fighter. CJ Vergara is a full-time fighter. He's the main disciple of Pete Spratt, very, very famous Muay Thai legend. So, again, I like the dog here to start out my night. I do think there's an X factor here of CJ or Ode using wrestling also. If one of them uses wrestling, might lead them to the win also. So there is kind of a low-key submission threat, more so from Ode, but CJ is the older guy coming into this. Neither guy is going to not feel the pressure of fighting in Madison Square Garden to lead this off. I don't think Ode is going to be more comfortable because he's fought a few fights in the UFC. I think both guys are going to feel the pressure, but really good fight to lead off the card. Really, the first 2 fights are just kind of incredible fights for me, even with the late notice replacement. 145 Milsic, Baghdasaryan. I'll call him Milsic the rest of the way. Taking on Bruno Souza of LFA.
Aaron, how long have you known I've been talking with Bruno for years.
Yeah, Bruno's awesome.
18 months.
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching his interview before his last LFA bout with you, and he's first of all incredibly intelligent.
Spot. It's such a bad spot for him, man.
Right here?
Yeah.
Oh, right here? Yeah. This is one that I don't think we need to talk about as long because I don't think the fight's going to be that long. Bruno Souza is coming. I'm just going to introduce people to Bruno Souza a little bit for people who aren't familiar. 10-1. He fights out of the Machida Academy. Only 25 years old, which is crazy. I just feel like I've known about this guy for so long. He fights like a 145 Machida, to be honest, but doesn't quite have the sting or the punching power to at all be able to get Milsic's respect here. I still can't get the Mike Hamill fight out of my head. I know that happened in July of 2019, but the amount of a beatdown he took in that fight and how he took it and then to get the illegal blows to win it, it's like, that's why you really got to look and watch these fights. That was a 30-25 fight for Mike Hamill that he won because there was a back of the head shot.
It's like Aljamain Sterling defeating Peter Yan in the stats.
Yeah, exactly. It's more so. It's worse than that. Like that is what like that. If you look up Mike Hamill versus Bruno Souza, I remember it. Yeah, that was to me. I was worried about his career ever being the same. He has kind of come back a little bit. He knocked out a very, very untechnical Camaro Santos. Elijah Johns, I think he lost that fight. But Milsic, basically, unless Milsic completely gases here. Melsick has to take this one. I think he gets a first round knockout. I don't think that Souza's going to get any respect with his movement and shots moving away.
And real quick, Aaron, I'm going to do something real fun.
Yeah, please.
And I love the comments. I'm just, sometimes I come in, of course, I want to listen to Aaron. I want to make money. And then I just want to see all these comments. I love all this. Whoever puts in like the best, funniest comment of the show. And sometimes you just never know. The timing needs to be right. Whoever puts in the funniest comment of the show, I'm going to come back. I'm going to DM him. I'm going to send him a Dave Van Auken shirt, free as
hell yes. I should have worn my Dave Van Auken shirt. And like this whole chat, like you'll look through the chat. And if at any point you want to respond or highlight anything, I'm going back and forth. But like, yeah, these guys all. Thamaris is a longtime supporter.
I'm all about the chat, dude. I love it. So the funniest comment, free shirt.
That's what, dude, that is exactly what my co-host does. Bunny also always about the comments. She had to work today, getting ready for the weekend. So I got Melsick here. I'm not going to.
Yeah, I got Melsick. I love Bruno. Bruno's been on my show personally 2-3 times. Great guy. He even trains in Orlando sometimes for Fusion XL Performance. Doesn't have a strong base. He's still 25, super young. I'm happy he got into the UFC. But the spot's bad, the opponent's bad, the matchup's bad. I love Bruno. I hope I'm so wrong on this because I would love a upset win for him and really kind of rocket launch, kind of really catapult his career. Doesn't look good for him. I even like Melsick inside the distance as well. I think he finishes Bruno.
You gotta bet Melsick inside the distance.
Yeah.
Anytime you bet him, it's just he's not a guy that you're going to – I mean, although like Melsick by decision in most fights, you're probably going to get crazy value. Melsick by decision here is plus 130. Melsick by inside the distance is plus 140. So you got better odds on inside the distance here. I'm shocked by that, frankly. One thing I will say is Souza's tough to hit. So that could result in Melsick having to kind of look to get frustrated with the grappling a little more, maybe. But I just, again, there's a firepower difference between these.
100%. And you would think that Bruno's debut in the UFC under the bright lights, he might even get a little itchy if he thinks he's down 1-0 or 2-0. And like you said, he might not play defense as much and really go on the offensive, and that's when he's going to get caught. So I like Melsick, ITD.
Yeah, I like him inside the distance. He's minus 300 straight up, so I don't think that makes much sense. You can get him at plus money at plus 140. He's a finisher, 5 of 6 wins by finish. I think another finish is coming here. But yeah, Indigo, real quick, saying here's my bet parlay so far: Gary and Jacoby, Melsick money line, Pereira money line. Fight doesn't go to distance. Blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, I mean those are decent. I don't want to give away too much of my thoughts on Gary yet because
there's one I'm disagreeing with there, boys. There's one I'm disagreeing with there, but that's a good parlay. It makes a lot of sense, but I don't think this card's gonna. I think there's gonna be some funny things.
Yeah,
that's gonna happen.
last week the card made all the sense in the world, frankly, including the Glover fight, which I did have. I think that made sense to me, but this week I think it goes back to MMA, but. Third fight here, Dustin Jacoby taking a short notice fight here with John Allen. I think Dustin Jacoby just never stops training. I'm convinced of it at this point. He needs like 2 days notice and he's ready to go. This dude's a savage. But John Allen, 13-6 for the Shoot to Box Academy member, 75-inch reach versus the 78-inch reach. I think will be a factor for sure in this fight because it's going to be on the feet. Battle of kickboxers here. John Allen did lose his last fight out. Fights with Shoot to Box. Lost a split decision to Roman Dolidze. I hate Roman Dolidze fights. I'll be honest. It was a Roman Dolidze fight again. It was two guys who've been caught for PEDs at different points in their careers who are now being tested for PEDs. And what do? You get a so-so split decision between the two of them. It's weird. The firepower seems to be gone. Had a decision win over Mike Rodriguez that was reversed because of a tainted supplement. Then he had to take a year off in 2020. Lost to Vinicius Moreira on the Contender Series. That's all I got to say. For me, Dustin Jacoby, we know him. We love him. Kickboxer, through and through for the glory of kickboxer. He was at one of the first fights I ever saw live against Chris Camozzi in UFC in Chicago, the first Fox show. He got 10-finger guillotined by him. But he's been looking good lately since being back in the UFC, earning his way by the Contenders Series, which was crazy to me. But I actually remember picking against him in there. Beat Justin Ledet, Maxine Grishin. The Jan Kutalaba fight, he just showed he's as tough as they can come. Won 2 rounds, had a terrible first round, but took everything and then some, and then came back and just pieced up Darren Stewart and got him fired. So I think, again, there's a level of difference to the strikers here. John Allen is kind of just – I'm not a big fan of John Allen, especially now that USADA is testing him. I don't think that he looks like he belongs here. So Dustin Jacoby multiple times has shown he belongs here. And, yeah. This is Dustin Jacoby all day. Bunny is not eligible for the contest, by the way.
Oh, wow. Wow. Bunny doesn't even know about the contest. Dave, great seeing you back. Bunny, I have never left. I'm always here. All right. Anyone that knows me long-term knows I'm all heart. So, yes. And I am a diehard Buffalo Bills fan. So I'm going all in on Josh Allen. Josh Allen with the upset.
It's John Allen. It's John Allen, though. This isn't Josh.
It's close enough for me. Now, I knew it was John. I'm still going with John Allen. I don't know why. It's a gut pick. I think there's just no way Jacoby goes on a 5-fight UFC win streak. It makes no sense.
I mean, but you look at who it's against, and it's just like it's Maxine Grishin, it's Justin Ledet.
I get it.
Darren Stewart. These are the guys that he pieces it together against.
Josh, Buddy got the joke. I know she got it deep down inside. I'm going all in. John Allen, I'm like a freaky TKO second, third round, 38 seconds left in the round.
Wow.
Counter overhand. I don't know. I'm telling you, John Allen.
Just to let you know, John Allen inside the distance plus 500. So go ahead and put a 50 down on it.
Here we go. Guys, I'm winning money right now. Plus 500. Put a little 40 spot, a little 200K, and then we're going to put that all on.
We'll see. Yeah, there we go. That's called the T. That's called the T's in the biz. This is out of hand. Dustin Jacoby is a minus 360 favorite.
It's crazy. I'm telling you guys.
I'm passing. It's a pass. It's just a pass for me. It's not a dogger pass for me. Because I can't.
Every single parlay, every single MMA parlay has Jacoby in it. I'm telling you, he's gonna break everyone's heart. It's a feeling, guys. I'm telling you. And I wish it was someone else. I wish it was someone I felt good about. I don't feel good about Josh Allen's brother, John, but I'm going with John Allen.
His Brazilian brother. Oh, man, it's too bad Bunny can't win the shirt because –
yeah, that's pretty fucking good, Bunny. Dude, that's good.
Bunny hates outrageous odds. Nothing makes her more angry.
Funniest comment, Dave Van Auken shirt. I got new colors in. New colors. It's coming to you. Funniest comment other than Bunny. Sorry, Bunny. Yeah. We love you, though.
You're crazy. Plus 270 on John Allen, minus 360. I'm just passing on it. It will be in a few parlays, but a minus 360 Dustin Jacoby, you don't want that costing you your card at all. So yeah, the price is wrong there. If it was someone else other than Josh Allen or John Allen, maybe if it was Josh Allen, I would bet it. But because it's John Allen, I gotta stay away from it.
Justin's in the lead right now, guys. That's a good one, Justin. You're in the lead.
Justin often joins us from fairs and concerts, apparently. He goes to a lot of Wednesday fairs and concerts.
Good dude. Good dude. I already like Justin a lot. We're already good friends.
Yeah, Justin, definitely. You definitely want to check out Killer and the Bee, or what is it? Banana
in the Bee podcast with my best
YouTube
friend
and YouTube.
Taylor Starlin. Bare Knuckle FC superstar.
Again, subscribe on YouTube. Boom. Subscribe on YouTube right now. Yeah. The fact that I have more subscribers than that podcast is a criminal. So everybody, seriously subscribe to it. Taylor has been on the show before. Taylor, we love her. She's an absolute savage. But going to move on to the next fight. In this fight, we're going to have a challenge here. We're going to try to finish this in 30 seconds. Chris Barnett versus Jan Vallante. Jan Vallante just announced this is a retirement fight. I wasn't picking Jan Vallante, and now it's his retirement fight. Definitely not picking him. Chris Barnett by TKO.
100% agree. Next fight.
All right. And by the way, Chris Barnett's the fucking underdog. Go bet it. Plus 110 on Chris Barnett inside this. This is insane. John Vallante being a favorite when he's announced he's retiring in 2021. He's in New York. He's going to be rolling out of a goddamn Italian restaurant for this fight.
Indigo, that's good. That's good. Indigo with the comment right there.
Getting the raise. Dude, I've got one of the best comment sections in the game here.
Guys,
the people are here from the beginning.
Into it. You go under 2.5 rounds in the first fight. Melzik probably, inside the distance.
Under 2.5 for sure.
Upset with Josh Allen's twin brother and Barnett at a plus 115. Like, guys, are we fucking kidding right now?
How is John Vallante a favorite? How is the Olive Garden a favorite? That's what I call him at this point, dude. I call him the Olive Garden, man.
So disrespectful.
I don't know why. I'm usually better than this. Next fight, we failed. We went to 115, unfortunately. But my disrespect is the reason that we went to minute 15 there. So it's okay. Next fight here. This is perhaps the fight of the night.
Wow.
And okay. I'm not kidding. I think this fight is going to be bloody. I think both guys are going to bleed in this fight. And we're gonna see. I think it's gonna be more squirrely than a lot of people. Boombaye, Jordan Williams taking on Ian, the prodigy, the next McGregor, the greatest Irishman. He's got a fucking documentary up from the UFC. He's got his own documentary up. Apparently, everybody and their mother, Ian Gary, is gonna win everything to ever exist. I just maybe I'm not so sure yet, but we'll see. The future, still 23 years old, now fighting at Sanford MMA. Can't really beat that level of dedication. He left Ireland and moved over there to one of the best camps in the world. Still only 23 years old, 7-0, former Cage Warriors welterweight champion. Right. I love Cage Warriors so much. He did win his welterweight title against a 155 fighter in Jack Grant. That is a little bit of an X factor there. We did see Jack Grant debut in the UFC. He looked really good. Ronda Rousey is here. So Ronda Rousey herself, good to have you here.
Huge
no big
fan,
deal.
Ronda, huge fan.
Yeah, we're all huge fans. Bring back Travis Brown. But no, I'm just kidding. Don't bring back Travis Brown. But yeah, Jack Grant did win in the UFC at 155. I want to point that out. Win before that against Rostam Artem, the guy who fought once in the UFC, hairiest guy of all time. You remember him, right? He got cut very quickly. But again, finisher in most of his fights, very well rounded, but mostly looks for the knockout, looks for the strikes. The hype coming into this guy and the expectations that he's going to come in and beat sloppy, untechnical striker. I feel like I kind of saw this earlier in the week with Johan Lioness versus Justin Burlinson. This fight kind of reminds me of that because you watch Jordan Williams strike and you're like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. These are looping. These are ugly. And I said this on, I believe I said this on Tuesday, but about 70% of the time, the better technical guy wins the fight. The better quote unquote fighter wins the fight. 30% of the time, they don't. That's what makes MMA so great is that kind of the less technical guy, I think, wins like 3 out of 10 times, honestly. And I think this could be one of those spots. For me, Ian Gary, I'm not completely sold on him yet. I just am not. I think that he's looked really good. The Matthias Ficolat fight, we've seen how good he is. He's now 6-1. He's looking like an absolute stud. Like, again, these are really good moments. I just am, again, wondering how he's going to look when the adversity strikes. And he's going from taking on a 155er moving up to 170 to a 185er moving down to 170, who's kind of still had some health issues with the insulin, figuring it out. I get he's coming off a loss to Mickey Gall. But I think that Mickey Gall had his most perfect fight ever there, and it was like the most like terrible performance possible from Jordan Williams. I do think Jordan Williams should have been favored in that fight, and I'd be curious to see how he'd do coming back. But this is one for me. I'm I'm just not sure. I think it's going to be a really good fight. I think it goes the distance, frankly. I think that these guys are going to really push each other, and Jordan's going to have to wrestle. He's going to have to go against the cage. But the other part that really, sticks out to me is, yes, Jordan looks like he was terrible against Gall. I get it. But how about how he looked against Gregory Rodriguez at 180 pounds? I mean, this guy can knock out anybody. And so, I'm not even confident it goes the distance. I think this is back and forth. I think both guys have the other guy in trouble at points. I don't think this is just a walkover for Ian Gary. At this point, I'm going to let the price keep shooting up, but a plus 300 bet on Jordan Williams, I don't think is a bad bet at all. For me, it's dog or pass. I'm going to go with Jordan Williams to grit out a decision here. 31 years old, very veteran, 9-5. I get it. There's some losses in there, but I don't have a problem with that. I think he's completely being counted out here. People are expecting this to be the Ian Gary show, and I'm not so sure yet.
Okay. All right. Lot well said there. First, I'm going to give the MMA take, win or lose, and then I'm going to go with the bet because it is two different things.
Yep.
I think Ian's going to get the win, right? I think Gary's going to get the win. I'm not exactly sure how. You said a lot of good. I don't know if it's going 15 minutes or if it's going to go 3. I have zero idea. It's one of those weird, wacky fights, and I know Jordan has power and all of that stuff, and I don't know if there's going to be grappling involved. I really don't. I think it's going to be – I'm kind of really intrigued to see it, to be honest. So I think Ian's going to win the fight. Betting-wise, though, there's zero chance I'm betting Ian on a one-off. There's no way. I can see throwing him in a couple parlays, even if you got 2 big dogs you like, or you do one of those, like I said, if you take a plus money guy, or you take, let's just say, even Weili and Rose, whatever side you like, and we'll get there later. It's really thin money, so you go a thin money and then Ian. So now you get around, even money. I like that a lot. But just seeing like the comment, like, I don't know, guys. I think Gary's going to have the crowd. He's got a ton of winning momentum. He's going to get the W. I don't bet him straight up. I don't like any UDs or TKOs. I parlay him with another probably stud I like early or late. Weili Boston just writes. But I think Ian's going to get the win.
Yeah, fair enough. This is one that maybe I look like an idiot next week. But as long as Jordan gives us a fight, which I do think he's going to give it, I think there's a huge difference here for Jordan Williams coming into this. He knows that this is it. I think he knows that he's not going to be afforded that 3-fight losing streak.
A lot of Weili love in the comments already. We haven't made it to the main card yet.
Yeah. But we definitely minus 400 right now on Gary. That number's only going to go up. There's no rush to bet Jordan Williams.
Or 75 when it goes off.
Yeah, or minus 500. When you type into YouTube and you see the amount of highlight videos put together, and MMA On Point did a video on Ian Gary last year. It's just people are thirsty for these new stars, and we'll see. Maybe he comes in and he's the real deal. Jordan Williams, I just think is not as easy of a first matchup as maybe they're intending. That's all. So good 170 fight. Should be interesting. Moving on.
This is an underrated fight on the card, I think.
I think that most Imamov fights are going to be underappreciated just because of how Imamov, fights. Too much invested in Ian for him not to win. See, I didn't know the investors were getting in the ring with him, so I have to reconsider this now that it's going to be like all of his handlers also in the ring with sticks. I forget, Jordan. I think Jordan Williams getting his insulin figured out is should not be discounted. He now has a doctor. Yeah.
The Miz is ahead on the sheet, man, on the shirt. I like the Miz, dude. He's killing it. Him or her, I don't know who it is.
Oscar Trevino. Oscar Trevino is CJ Vergara's cousin. He was on the breakdown when I picked CJ Vergara live on the Contender Series.
No way.
Yes. Was waiting for you to email me. Dude, I'm an idiot. Yeah, he was waiting for me to email, never got one. Cousin CJ was ready to do the show with you, brother. We'll talk to him after his upset win. Absolutely, Oscar. Go ahead and We'll figure out. But message me on Instagram or something. But we'll figure that out. I'm an idiot though. But man. Yeah, go. I did pick your cousin. I did pick your cousin again, Oscar, tonight, even though Dave did not. Dave did not pick your cousin. Dave picked your cousin and get knocked out. He said that the lights are going to be too much for him. But Edmond Shabazzi and Nasruddin Imavov, very good fight here. 185, two very different guys, though. Imavov out of France, still only 25 years old. I thought he was 35 by the looks of him, how he fights, everything about him. That's crazy to me. He's only 25. Russian sniper who's French, always fun, always makes me laugh. Won his last fight back in June of this year, knocked out Ian Heinisch, looked fantastic in that fight. Knees and ground and pound. Close fight with Phil Haas that I personally thought he won, and then just maneuvered, out-tooled Jordan Williams to a decision. Come on. Instagram is Aaron the Dog Guy, Trevino. I'm putting it in that right now.
Just switch it to Aaron the Dog MMA.
Well, the thing is, it's still technically my dog business Instagram account. So, like, a bunch of my clients follow me, and they're like, "You really like cage fighting, huh?"
I'm all over the place, Boston coming.
But yeah.
Let me just throw something in here real quick. I think, and I know people are not going to want to hear this because he's like such a, I feel like, hated guy in the MMA scene, and Edmond Shabazzi, and his name was so hot 18 months ago, and a lot of people thought he was overrated, and then everyone loved to see him not lose, not once, but 2 times in a row. Guys, Edmond Shabazzi and at plus 110 money, the last time I saw it, to me, is an absolute steal. I don't know. I might be way off.
You're way off here. Let me talk.
Dude, this is
because
one of my best picks on the card.
So I almost fell for this trick too.
No, I think Edmond's that good. I think he's still top 5, top 7 material. Dude, everyone loses to Derek Brunson nowadays in 2020.
I picked Derek Brunson. I'm not.
I remember. I really do remember. You were so hot on that too. It was a great win. Yeah. I don't know. I just think people are going too far the other way.
I think that might be more accurate. You don't know. Because Imavov should be on a 3-fight win streak right now in the UFC, in my opinion. The way he looked against Phil Haas, I think he uses a lot of that game plan here again. Another 1-round fighter he's taking on here in Edmond Shabazzian. Edmond Shabazzian is a 1-round fighter. And until he shows me he's not a 1-round fighter, I cannot pick him, especially against a guy in Imavov who can very easily go 15 minutes bouncing on the feet. Keeping on, Imavov looks like which he fights out of the same gym as Cyril Gane, so it makes sense. Fights a lot like a 185 Cyril Gane. Very technical, straight shots, bouncing on the feet, in and out, body shots. Can mix in the wrestling at points, which again, once you hurt Edmond, you see where that takedown defense goes. So
what the Miz is saying, what you're saying, guys, he's 25. How old is Edmond Shabazzian?
24, 25.
Yeah, 24. You're telling me these guys can't improve? Like back to the football, you see Josh Allen rookie year to Josh Allen now. Like these guys are able to improve. Maybe he's been working on his cardio for a year. So
yeah, I
don't know. I just think
it's close for a reason.
Top-level MMA fighter, he's going to improve on his weaknesses.
But do you not think Imavov is a possible top 15 middleweight?
No, he is.
Right. So
I definitely think so. But
the way that Imavov wins is not by pushing the pace in the first round. It's by pushing it over the 3 rounds. It's a type of matchup that doesn't lead to Edmond. Like Edmond's, you want to see Edmond start to show those improvements against guys with maybe an Ian Heinisch, frankly, an Ian Heinisch would be terrible for him too. I'm trying to think of some guys at 185 who have a little less reliable gas tanks. Eric Anders, for example. That would be a great spot where he could. Someone knocked on the door. I'll be right back.
It's all good. I'm going to go on Edmond Shabazzian. Guys, a year ago, he was like the hottest prospect in the middleweight. Everyone thought it was going to be Shabazzian against Izzy Adesanya. And he loses to 2 losses. I think off the top of my head, it's Hermanson and Brunson, 2 studs, 2 guys have been around forever. Like 2 legit top 8, top 10 middleweights. I don't care, Boston. I'll carry the whole damn team on my back. You know that. I don't know, guys. I think you guys are sleeping on Edmond Shabazzi. Like, come on. Plus 110 money on a prelim? Come on, guys. Like, just watch. Like, he's about to go on a 3-fight win streak, and everyone's like, I guess Edmond, one of the hottest prospects, still not in his prime, got better at MMA. Telling you guys, Edmond. But thank you, Indigo.
Yeah, no, sorry. Someone knocked on the door looking for a wrong house. Yeah, definitely. Just
don't believe it underneath the rug.
God. So we're on the opposite sides again here. We've disagreed, 3 times now? And you're going to be on.
That's good. That's good for business.
Yeah, minus 105 now for Edmond. People are definitely seeing your side here. It's turned into a pick 'em. It is kind of, does Imavov get it to the 3rd round and get to draw up the gas, or does Edmond finish it early or show he can go 3 rounds? If Edmond shows he can go 3 rounds against Imavov and win that, I'm about to be picking Edmond against a lot of people if he can go 3 rounds here. So
Justin, come on. Edmond Shabazzi and Ronda Rousey?
Here's the other thing is that everybody waits for like the Targaryen camp or whatever to fail and then just bounce on it. So that's another part of why I think Edmond has been counted out. If Edmond fought on Team Elevation right now, if he fought Team Oyama, if he fought out of AKA, like people would, I think, he'd probably be the favorite here. But because he has Ronda Rousey's coach, he becomes the underdog. It is not a fight I'm betting very heavy, if at all, because I do just don't trust Imavov that much at this point. What I saw against Hawes does really worry me because that could be very similar in this fight. So
yeah,
Imavov live after. Yeah, this might be the move here.
Armchair killed it. That is a great pick. No, I get that, but let's see even after one.
Does he train? Wait, Justin? Does he? Edmond trains out of AKA now? I did not know that. I apologize, but yeah, if that's the case, Justin, that's very interesting. That's the kind of camp you got to train out of. First of all, Dave brings the eyes here. Congratulations, everybody. We're at over 20 viewers live right now. So shout out.
Let's keep sharing it, man. Let's share the links, man. Aaron the dog, we need 100 eyes. The 20 is not it. This is great. I love the comments. We can keep going. I don't want to get too big now, but let's get to 100. Keep sharing this thing out there, man. Let's go.
Yeah. Hey, we're growing. I said I wanted to be at 268 breakdown. We're at 274.
I like this fight.
Is there any bad fights on this card besides the Olive Garden? Who's hopefully going to be knocked out very quickly?
The Miz, you're on fire, dude.
Real quick thing about Miz. Miz followed me all the way back in the day when I was on UFC Gambling Addicts before. So he's followed me for about 4 or 5 years of me picking fights. So, and that's Dave who's writing the comment, by the way. I don't know if you can switch it over to your name or not.
I don't think I can. I tried. So Miz, hit me up on the IG. I gotta get Miz the shirt, dude. He's just killing it. I'm a big fan of him. Big fan. You
can put it in from my name. Just type it in so Miz can follow you. But we got Phil Hawes here against Chris Curtis at 185. This is a very interesting fight. 11-2 Phil Hawes against 26-8. Chris Curtis, the action man. I just love Chris Curtis, man. He's so fun to watch.
Love him.
He's such a good dude. Great to follow. Fighting out of Extreme Couture. Last fought in July of this year with XMMA, an awesome promotion, by the way. XMMA, such a fun promotion. Free on YouTube when they have their fights. Took out Kenny Robertson. It was at welterweight. He does usually fight at welterweight. This is coming up to middleweight. But I don't exactly hate it in this spot, especially because I think that the speed, the cardio, the pace that Chris Curtis can push, I think he can handle 185ers better. And Indigo, check out Fight Bananas, check out Banana and the Bee as well. Just go ahead and you can put all that in there. It will be coming from Aaron the Dog. Just put it all in there, Dave.
Okay.
But yeah, Chris Curtis wins over guys like Kyle Stewart, knocked him out in the 3rd round, which I love to see, stuff like that. The win over Kenny Robertson, he looked really good there. His losses came in the PFL to Magomed Kirimov by decision twice and got knocked out by Ray Cooper III. So the last 2 welterweight champions of PFL who could only knock out each other. Yeah, those are his losses. Andre Fiallo, a really good ground and pound again, third round, beat Matt Dwyer, former UFC opponent. He's fought all over the place. His pace, his cardio, and his grind are keys here. I think he's got a really good opportunity here against Phil Hawes. Got to survive that first round. Have to survive that first round. That is kind of the key with all Phil Hawes. But if he pushes it, if he pushes the cardio, if he pushes the grappling, I don't hate the fact that I think he can steal one possibly. That being said, I am going to still go with Hawes here. I just don't have the heart to pick Curtis here, but a third round finish, a decision type of like win here for Curtis, I don't rate that as impossible. I just think Phil Hawes is going to be a little too physical. The strikes are going to keep Curtis away here, but I am not confident, especially in the price.
One of the best prices for an underdog I like on the whole card. Hawes is good. Christopher Curtis has been waiting for this moment. He's also fought an Icon Fighting Federation, just been struggling and just doing clawing to get here to the UFC. This fight fucking matters so much to Curtis. I like Curtis a lot here. He's just one of the dogs on this card. Plus, what is he? 250, 275?
Plus 270, minus 360. Minus 360 on Phil.
Straight money. Straight money.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure if he's going 15 or some kind of freaky stoppage with the ground and pound or like just wrestling him to death. But give me Curtis plus 270 all
you don't need
day long.
I mean, I don't hate it. It is a dogger pass for me. I don't have the heart to do it. I got to go with Phil Hawes. Okay. Now I just saw it. I solved the mystery for the increase in viewers amongst the many reasons. This channel is not just me. That's all I got to say. I got a team behind me. I got a squad behind me, and I appreciate all the support. That's all I got to say about that. Minus 360, the price is way off. I'm not betting Phil Hawes at all. I'm not even confident Phil Hawes gets a finish if he wins this fight. It might just be a type of, weight class matters type of result. And I hate to say that. It's kind of boring, but should be a good fight. I know this is huge for Chris Curtis. I'm rooting for Chris Curtis. But yeah, I just think, it's another one for me in Armchair where maybe we're thinking about live betting it a little bit.
Love live betting. Love it.
Live betting with guys like Phil Hawes is an art. But next fight, Ally Quintup versus Bobby Green. Really good lightweight fight between two veterans here. This one, I just think is going to be. This one is. It's going to be very, very close. I think. Ally Quintup and Bobby Green. I mean, most Bobby Green fights are close at this point. They're exciting. Both guys almost 35 years old. 27-12-1 for Bobby Green against the 14-6-1 Ally Quintup. King Green, he's been looking pretty, okay in some of the spots in these fights, and then at other parts, not great. With Fiziev, he just allowed too big of a lead against him, but that third round against Fiziev was really impressive by me. Really came back, almost got the draw. It's just like Green, just waited a little too long to turn it on there. Against Thiago Moises, I had Thiago Moises all day there. I couldn't believe what a favorite Bobby Green was in that spot. It's just one of these where I don't like put Bobby Green as someone who I can put all day. That's the thing. I just don't. Sometimes he just gets a little too into the shoulder rolls, a little too into getting controlled against the cage. He doesn't get taken down a whole lot because his defensive wrestling is good. But, I think that this is just good. It's going to be a close fight. Ally Quintup, I've never been a big fan of. I've lost a lot of money betting against Ally Quintup.
Thought he'll be really close on that one card when he had 10 hours notice.
Yeah, he did almost.
I hate when people say that. That's all they say about Raging Out. Like, it drives me crazy.
No, he almost won one round against Khabib Nurmagomedov. It is besides beating Kevin Lee twice. I haven't seen a whole lot of Ally Quintup that I'm crazy about. Lost the decision to Cerrone and Hooker's last two out. I don't think Ally Quintup is like completely in the game here. So I'm going to go with Bobby Green. I'm going to go with Bobby Green because I don't question Bobby Green's dedication to the game. And I think in a close fight, I'm going to edge Bobby. But yeah.
100%. Like, same thing. There's a different, my take on the fight itself and then my take on the bet inside of it. Take on the fight inside of it is this has got like split decision written over it all day long.
Like all Bobby Green fights.
Yeah, it's a Bobby Green fight. I think I'm leaning Bobby Green. I think Bobby Green's in it. He's just been more active. I think he wants to win more. I just think, and then sometimes there's 2 in a row that it was close on if he should have won or not. And sometimes in life, when maybe he shouldn't win this fight, he might win this fight. So I got Bobby Green to win the fight. Bet inside of it, if you're up money, if Curtis comes in for us or O'Day comes in for us and my twin Josh Allen wins and we're up money, I'm going to throw some money on probably on the Bobby Green side. If we're down money, if we're losing money and none of those came in and we're not doing good, I pass on this fucking fight. There's a couple fights on the main card I like. I don't want to run after lost money. So that's my style on it.
Yeah, and it's fine. Yeah, Armchair is like, we have no idea what we're getting with Al. Bobby could win against the game Al either way. Maybe. I don't know. If Al's really, fighting like he did in that second fight against Kevin Lee, but I just think he just has something over Kevin Lee, like from a mental competition.
That's a good point.
Fight goes the distance. It's minus 350 though.
Oh, no, Justin.
Actually, fight goes the distance. That's for over 2.5. Fight goes the distance is minus 300. So
can't do it.
Yeah, and Bobby going the distance is minus 140. I'm never going to bet. I will never bet a prop that is minus money. Just me personally, I'm never going to bet a minus prop. I just don't do it. That's my own thing. I'm not
like an Amanda Nunes TKO prop next month.
Because she's gonna choke her out. Watch, she's gonna ground and pound her from the mount and then choke her out.
Not a bad point, Aaron. Not a bad
point. This, and I saw it happen a few weeks ago. I bet on a KO prop and the guy slipped in a rear naked choke at the end after it was, I forget which fight, and the difference was not much. I'm just telling you, it's MMA, it's unpredictable, which is perfect to bring us to this fight, because this fight right here, Alex Pereira has made it to UFC somehow. Just because he knocked out Israel Adesanya and got a decision over him, and they just saw money signs. So they're like, we're going to bring him in and we're going to give him Andre Micheladas to start it out. This is what appears to be a safe spot, but let's go into it a little bit. He's 3-1. He's 34 years old, Alex Pereira, and he is massive. Massive, massive, massive. I think this weight cut could be the death of him, frankly. I am very, very concerned about how he looks on the scales. I have not touched this fight until I see the weigh-ins. I hate to say that too often because, Armchair says Alex by murder. Most people think that. I don't know, man. Gokhan Saki by murder over and over again. And we saw kickboxing is not MMA. And at 34 years old, cutting down to 185, it's going to be rough on Pereira, in my opinion. Still only 3-1. Got his win in MMA over a 4-4 opponent in Thomas Powell, and now he's going to a 13-4 Andre Micheladas. When he fought over in Glory, lost his last time out back in September. He was fighting at 209 pounds. That is 25 pounds higher than he's going into this fight. He is fighting this fight. He has to weigh in at 186 pounds. He will look like death on the way. Yeah, Gokhan was 60 years old. Alex Pereira is 34. He is not a spring chicken himself. He's coming over to a different sport here, and he's getting it off of a 4-4 win. So
what do you got? 34? Glover just won the title at 42, bro.
And he's not cutting. Yeah, you're right. Exactly. And if Glover can do it, everybody can do it. Glover is the coach of Alex Pereira. So that is,
Alex has been training up there in Danbury.
Yeah, at Teixeira MMA. And Glover is going to be in the corner for Alex Pereira. So, I'm having a little fun here. I think most likely Pereira does get the job done and get the KO. But there's a real chance. Yeah, Justin's hilarious.
He's so funny, dude. I like this guy.
I don't know where. Yeah, he's always here too. I just think that a little sprinkle on the Greek guy by decision, not a bad plan. Andre Micheladas, he should not look to strike at all. Why would he strike why would he strike in this fight? Why?
100%.
Like, he should be shooting for takedowns over and over again. He didn't look bad against KB Bueller, and KB Bueller would have been, like, not a great fighter in the UFC, sure, but yeah.
You don't think Alex is ready for that, like some kind of knee, some kind of fun little transition if the guy's going to try to wrestle him? Because you would assume people are going to try to do that to Alex for the next 5 fights.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just with Micheladas, most of his fights, he does win on the feet. He does have a couple submission wins, though. So I just think that for him to win this fight, he's got to be shooting for takedown to make it ugly. I think that he ends up getting drawn into a striking bout, but I just think that it's not, I just think it's not this sure thing everybody thinks it is. I'm going to take Pereira. I'm going to take him by KO, but I am nervous, mostly about the weight cut and then about the overall MMA and how it's going to look for this explosive kickboxer.
Oh, it's me? Dude, I got Alex winning the fight. Yeah, the odds I don't love. It's one of those things. It's MMA side. I think Alex is going to win. This is a big moment, big spot. He's the featured prelim, which is pretty wild.
Yeah, this is a huge spot.
I know. I think you're going to see something outstanding too. I think we're going to see. I like Alex with a knockout, probably under 7 minutes.
It does Micheladas fall out of the cage though?
No.
No cage fall. That was such an unfortunate way to like. He didn't know he was leaning against the door. Like, guys, he was leaning against the cage, and a guy pulled the Three Stooges move and opened it. And like, they're like, "Oh my god, this guy's wasted." Like, anybody would have fallen out of the cage there. So
in 2021, you don't hear a lot of Three Stooges references. Well played, Aaron. Well played.
Hey, what can I say? I'm a classic man.
Well
man
played.
of the classics.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, but that is the featured prelim. That is insane. They've switched it around. We are through the prelims. We're to the main card. I cannot believe I'm going to be at this live. Hey, do you have a license for those, sir?
Hey.
No wonder you have 5 kids. I'm just putting it into ether, brother. If it happens, it happens. Aaron's a great name for a boy or a girl. Just saying, I mean, we're in 2021 now. We don't need to make any decisions for anybody. But anyways, next fight here. We're on to the main card, and we got they decided to make this the opener of the main card. I love it. Got a banger. Justin Gate. Yeah, sure.
If the MMA gods come to your house, they knock on your door, they're like, hey, something happened, Aaron, an emergency. You can only watch one fight on UFC 268. Is this the fight you pick? One fight.
No, my one fight is Wylie Zhang versus Rose Namajunas.
Oh, okay.
We haven't seen.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that answer.
We haven't seen it yet. I was in Jacksonville. I was ready to watch it, and then the lights went out. So, yeah.
For me, this is the one fight.
I think that's fair. I mean, this would have to be number 2 for me. Well, number 3 behind John Vallante and Chris Barnett. They were taking that out of the discussion, right? It's just a different league.
O'Day.
So disrespectful. That might be my pick, man.
That's a great fight. That's gonna be so good.
You know what? What's great is that we're absolutely not having to choose here. There's 14 out of 15 fights. There's only one stake fight. And but this could be fight of the year for real. Justin Gaethje, Michael Chandler, 22-6, 22-3. Iron Mike Chandler. He was a strike away, 2 strikes away from being lightweight champion right now.
Yeah.
He had Oliveira dead to rights. Yeah. And then all of a sudden the second round happens and adrenaline rush is real, or adrenaline dump is real. He thought it was over. It wasn't, had to regroup. He couldn't. And just Oliveira comes out and absolutely connects on maybe the best strike of his entire career, puts Chandler down, finishes him by strikes. And so now everybody was on Chandler. They're off Chandler. The Chandler train, it was before Hooker. There's no way he's going to be an old, short Bellator lightweight coming in. Then he knocked out Dan Hooker, and all of a sudden everybody was like, he's going to absolutely just run through his next opponent, Charlie Oliveira. Charlie Oliveira is going to quit. And then all of a sudden, didn't happen. I mean, Michael Chandler's a legend, though. Go back and watch the Eddie Alvarez fights from Bellator. They're some of the best fights of all time.
Are they in black and white or in color?
They're on VHS. Go ahead and, discredit him and everything black and white or in color. Knocked out, ended up knocking out Dan Hooker, which now Dan Hooker gets no credit from anybody, apparently. We talk about the black and white or in color, but let's take a look at this Justin Gaethje guy a little more, shall we?
One of the all-timers.
One of the all-timers. 32 years old, 22-3. Team Elevation, Trevor Whitman, best coach in the game. Coming off a loss by video game controller to Khabib Nurmagomedov, where he said, I don't want to hurt you anymore. Let me choke you. It's like, again, I knew he wasn't going to quit. But just, that's Khabib. That's fine. He fought him worse than Ally Quinta, but not all of us can be Ally Quinta. The beatdown of Tony Ferguson when Tony Ferguson was done is done. Great. The beatdown of Donald Cerrone when Donald Cerrone was done is done. Great. The knockout of Edson Barboza when Edson Barboza has a quit button built into him right in the side. He pushes it every once in a while and fights when things don't go his way. Great. James Vick.
What a legend of the sport James Vick is.
My goodness, what a legend James Vick is. Vick is just unbelievable and definitely never quits and definitely doesn't have a chin made out of Bosselwood. And then he got knocked out in an amazing fight with Dustin Poirier where he was so close, but he lost. And then he got
again very soon, by the way.
And then he got knocked out against Eddie Alvarez here. Justin Gaethje is wolf tickets, in my opinions, in this matchup. I think that Michael Chandler has absolutely what it takes to win this fight. And I think not only does he win it, he gets the knockout in round 2. Not round 1. He gets the knockout in round 2.
Okay.
Michael Chandler is taking this fight.
This is my best pick on the card. And if I'm wrong on this one, if you never want me to come back on the great Aaron the Dog MMA YouTube channel again, I will want to ever come back. Or if you want me to come back to respectfully bow to the mighty of all the great commentators over here, I will do that. I will lick my wounds.
You're always invited.
So sure on this Justin Gaethje Chandler fight. Couple different reasons. This is why. One, let's go pro Gaethje right now. Gaethje hasn't fought in 11 months. I think he's 13 months. Sorry, 13 months, over a year. I think he's got his body right. He's got his mind right. I think he's in the best camp with the best coach in the world right now.
Correct.
We're on fire. What he's done to Usman over the last 18 months, 12 months has been incredible. Rose looked amazing in Jacksonville. Aaron, you and I were both there. And I think now under Gaethje for 10 months without freaking fighting, people don't understand how important that is. How much better a fighter can get with just 10 months of training and practicing and skills and technique and mental. I love Gaethje. I think his body's finally better. He's been in so many wars and he's on this mouse hamster wheel over and over again. He finally got off of it and just got better. I love Gaethje. I love Gaethje with leg kicks. I think Gaethje can diffuse the wrestling of Chandler. And going now to the Chandler, the negative side, what you just said, the topology, the hooker doesn't look that great right now, that win. Benson Henderson, who I actually absolutely love. He was one of my all-time favorites in 2012. I just talked to his wife. His wife is amazing. Their kids are amazing. Henderson isn't a great fighter right now in 2020, 2019. And it kills me to say it. He's not. Sidney Outlaw, I talked to him numerous times in a row. He's fought for island fights. That isn't a great fight. Chandler hasn't had a really top-end win in 6 years. I just think Gaethje is on another level in 2021 than Chandler.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll be talking very soon. We'll be talking next week about that fight because minus minus 220 on Justin Gaethje. Plus
the price. I wish it was around minus 150. That's where I thought I was going to get it. I really thought a lot of people were going to be on Chandler.
Yeah, no one. Everybody's on Gaethje.
Yeah, everyone's on Gaethje. Everyone.
Yeah, I mean, and just plus 175. Give me that plus 200 mark. That would be wonderful. But either way, guaranteed violence in that fight. The other thing I will say, this is Chandler's last run here. He loses this fight. I think that I don't know. We might see him just decide to retire because he'll know he'll never get to a title shot. He's fighting to win a title. He's not fighting just to fight. This guy's fighting. He came over to the UFC to win a title. I firmly believe that he realizes how close he was against Charlie Oliveira, and no one's put Charlie Oliveira in that kind of position in a very long time.
What you have a great point there, Aaron. I'm just going to leave it with this. Out of all the divisions, the wackiest one to get back into a title fight scene is the lightweight. They can super easily make Chandler versus Nate Diaz, Chandler versus Conor McGregor. I know we haven't said his name for an hour and 5 minutes. If he wins or smashes one of them, he might be literally one away or like right into it if something bad happens in the lightweight. Like if Dustin beats him.
What's Gaethje's best win?
What's Gaethje's best win?
Mm-hmm. In the UFC.
Michael Johnson.
That's my point. So, we'll move on here to the next
Tony
fight.
Ferguson. That was a great win. That was the beginning of the end of Tony.
Like, Tony's been
the Tony train. Come on,
guys. Tony's been done. Do you think Chandler would have taken till a fifth round to get there? Please. Chandler would have finished him inside of 2. And that's what he's going to do to Gaethje.
Thank you.
That's what he's going to do to. That's my point. His best win is a broken ass Tony.
He wasn't broken. He's the one that broke him.
He's been broke. This guy Dave Van Auken was yelling to the rooftops all about the most overrated run in UFC history being who?
That is true.
Tony Ferguson. Now you're going to look at Tony Ferguson as the most valuable fucking win in UFC history. This is incredible. You fucking phony. Shane Burgos versus Billy Quintup.
Oh, next. Great fight. Great fight.
This is crazy. This is such a good fight. This is insane. I love this fight so much. I don't know if Billy Quintup has a bad fight in him. He's so exciting. Billy Q, love the guy. 16-3 versus 13-3 here. Proper matchup of two 30-year-olds, 132, I should say, in Billy Q, but both in their athletic primes, 5'11", 5'10", 75-inch reach for Burgos, Tiger Schulman rep, versus the 70-inch reach of Billy Q. I'm worried that Billy Q loses this fight. He's going to try to kill himself and get down to bantamweight. That's my biggest fear. And I just don't want to see that. I like him at 145. He showed in the Gabriel Benitez fight that gas tank, man, is just such a weapon. He has an ability to take those beatings in the first round. He loses first rounds like it's his job. Billy Live Bet Q is his nickname, Quintup, because that's just what you do with Billy fights. Of his last 5, I should say 4 or 5 in the UFC, knocked out Kamela Kirk in the 3rd round to get his contract. That's a very good win. Kilburn finished him, so that's great. Spike Carlisle completely dragged him out of the 1st round and just used that gas tank to win the decision. I love what I get out of Billy Q. I know what to expect. 3rd round finish of Kyle Nelson. 3rd round finish of Gabriel Benitez. A loss to Gavin Tucker doesn't scare me that much because the way Gavin Tucker won that fight was mostly with the wrestling. Burgos isn't going to wrestle. The better MMA fighter in this fight is Quintup. The better boxer is Burgos. I like Billy Q in this fight. I don't really know what Shane Burgos we're going to see here. That knockout that he had against Edson Barboza might be career-altering in a serious, serious way. Not to mention the amount of strikes he took. The problem with going to a decision with Emmett is the amount of strikes he took against Emmett. And then 2 back-to-back fights, the Barboza fight here. Not as hard of a hitter here in Quintup, but I just think Quintup is going to have Burgos guessing a lot. Honestly, I like Billy Q in a war, 3-round war. I don't think either guy gets a finish, but maybe a 3rd round finish for Billy Q.
Okay. when I got into this MMA landscape scene, media side scene, podcasting, I know Justin's killing it. It's unreal. He already won a shirt. Go in my DMs. You want a shirt?
Yeah, dude, you're about to just get a whole wardrobe, Justin.
Dude, it's unbelievable.
Like the whole tracksuit.
I was always told you never want to be on a seesaw. It's like, I'm not saying anyone can do what we do. Trust me, someone try to talk for an hour and 20 minutes straight with knowing fighters and wins and losses. It's harder than what people think. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Preach.
But they never be on a seesaw. You guys saw me. I'm on O'Day. You see I'm going with an upset with Josh Allen. Upset. I'm all in with Edmond Shabazzi, and I'm all in with Justin Gaethje. This is the fight. I don't know. Aaron, I don't know. Like, I'm so there. I'm with you because Billy Q always does that in the third round. I don't know what Shane we're going to see. I think I'm picking Shane, but then he's getting a little bit too much money for my betting pricing point. If you're in like a fun pick and pool, I will pick Shane Burgos to win slightly. I'm 53-47. Betting wise with money, I think I would go Billy Q, and especially you guys nailed it. The comments nailed it. You nailed it. Wait till Billy Q loses round one. He'll be a plus 225, 250, and then roll with it.
Yeah, I mean, he minus 200 on Burgos coming off 2 beatdowns is shocking to me.
Yeah,
it's shocking against a guy in Billy Q who's 4-5 in the UFC and lost a decision against Gavin Tucker where the wrestling was the factor. With Burgos, the wrestling's not the factor. Sneakers, boxing. What shit? Sneakers? I forgot it's a boxing fight. Never mind. Burgos is the better boxer. So that wraps it all up. It's not a.
All right, guys, have a good night. Thank you, Sneakers.
I'm just kidding, Sneakers. I like you, but that was kind of that was like one of those comments where I'm just like, oh, well, like we all know that, like they're not boxing, but that wraps up the show because Billy Q is the worst boxer. So minus 200 on Burgos coming off 2 beatdowns. It's the same reason why. It's the same reason why when Qatar comes back, I'm not picking him no matter who it's against. I don't know how Qatar is going to look after that Max Holloway beating. I'm glad he's taken off the rest of the year. But Cater. Oh, fucking Jesus. Like I don't say a lot of names right. I call Jan Jan half the time, and people get so mad about that.
Oh, I know. People love that.
Dude, when Jan and Jan are on the same card, when Peter Jan and Jan, Jan becomes Jan for those cards, okay? I can't be saying Jan and Jan. Like, so
you brought up the picture. You brought it.
Who brought what picture?
No, what you just did.
Oh yeah. We got the next fight here. Maybe this is the fight that would be the fight I'd choose if I could only choose one fight to watch on the card.
This is so good.
Because I'm so nervous for this fight, though. Oh my God, I'm so nervous for this fight. Sneakers, he will. Yeah, dude, you can definitely rub it in my face if Burgos gets the KO now. If it's just like a pure boxing fight, especially like there's like Billy Q has committed no takedowns, no kicks. He's just boxing him.
Like John Anik's gonna be like, wow, Shane Burgos with the boxing technique of the UFC year. I'd be like, fuck, we're
they're just like a pure boxing match here has come out. Anybody who thought otherwise is a fool. Like they're gonna say something like that. But this fight, Frankie Edgar and Chito Vera, such an important fight for both guys. Frankly, 135 finally where Frankie Edgar should be, but I think it's way too late for the 40-year-old. We'll be breaking down Marlon Vera. Marlon Vera is only 28 years old, people. 19-7-1. Most of his losses coming inside the UFC. So again, you're seeing his worst moments in real time on the biggest stage. Team Oyama representative. Shout out to Fernando Padilla, El Vallante, getting back in there very soon. He had a war with David Grant, man. Way too close of a fight. Lost the first round, as Chito Vera tends to do so often. Chito Vera, I think, has lost more first rounds in his UFC career than won first rounds in his UFC career, which is troubling. Now, he's won a lot of those fights where he's lost the first round. He's lost the first round to guys like Nolene Hernandez, for example. Like, he's lost first rounds to Davey Grant in his last fight. He lost, he's the way he fought with Jose Aldo, it was a really close fight. Yodong Song, very close fights. 2 fights I personally had Chito Vera in. But again, he takes a little too long to warm up at points. And I'm a little bit concerned that he accepts the takedown in the bottom position a little bit too much, trusting in his back jiu-jitsu. I need to see a reaction of the floor is fucking fire when he gets taken down again, if he gets taken down, which I do believe he will against Frankie Edgar. I think Frankie Edgar is going to come in here, look to push the pace, look to push the wrestling. But to me, Cheeto's going to sneak in a elbow, sneak in a knee, sneak in some really like dangerous techniques. I think that are going to end up putting Frankie away at some point. Frankie gets knocked out, second straight fight, and I do think Frankie hangs it up here.
Okay.
And I'm just going a little quicker because I know you got 15 minutes.
I know. I got probably 15 minutes. I'm all in. I said it once. I'll say it last time. I'll say it on the whole card. I'm all heart. Guys, Frankie Edgar in Madison Square Garden after a global pandemic towards the end of his career. I'm all in with Frankie. I wish I was getting a better price, to be honest. I wish I was getting $250, $235. I'm not.
Wow. Look what the wind dragged in. The legend himself, fucking Fernando Padilla of Team Oyama. I think he knows about jits of Cheeto. He might have rolled once or twice with Cheeto.
Frankie Edgar does it with pace, with cardio, with grappling, with wrestling. Frankie wins 2 rounds out of 3. There you go. You're welcome. He's going to get the job done. He's the answer.
Oh, man. Look at Sneakers with the little sass. So don't be saying somebody's a good wrestler. I'll go, it's not a wrestling match. But, I mean,
you can win. You can control an MMA fight with wrestling. Hey, Dave, right. Twitter, of course, bro.
Yep, exactly. He's on Twitter. Check him out everywhere. All right, we got another disagree. I can't believe you are not go.
I love Frankie in the spot. How can you not pick Frankie Edgar in 2021 in Madison Square Garden? Like, come on. Come on.
Because he's 40 years old and coming off of one of the most devastating KOs I've ever seen.
Dude, he's been off a while. He just watched Glover Teixeira. He just got inspired. He's going to watch Rocky 3. He's going to feel good. Frankie all day long.
Minus 170 Cheeto Vera. I love
29-28.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I love Cheeto Vera in the spot minus 170. You are crazy, Dave. You watch that Glover fight and you're like, I'm kind of close to Glover's age. I'm getting close to 40 myself. I got to start believing that it's just getting started. Like, look at this guy.
Look at the slip.
Bruno. Hey, Bruno, easy here. You're not my producer.
Dude, ease up, dude.
Calm down, sir, as I give you this free information for you to go win money. We're at the co-main event here getting rushed.
Hit me up on Twitter.
Yep, okay. We're in the co-main event here. Maybe the fact no one's talking about anyone's area of advantage, that would be crazy. He's talking. Bruno's talking. I'm sorry, I can't keep up with all you guys in the chat. I was just kidding. Anyways, if he tells me to move on, it's not going to make me going faster. But we're at the co-main event here. First of 2 title fights: Rose Namajunas versus Wylie Zhang. 2. Really, it's the first one, just really getting started now. But there's a lot that I'm kind of questioning about Wylie from a mental perspective here. 32 years old for her here, 21-2, lost since her MMA debut. So she went on a 20-fight win streak before she had a loss, and comes back, loses about as bad as you can lose. Bruno knows what's up. Bruno goes, "This is the one." That's right, Bruno, producer Bruno. I think the whole chat is from China because I've seen all Zhang. Is anybody with me on? This is crazy, but Zhang, Magnum, 32 years old, 5'4", 63-inch reach. We look at this picture here, and Dave, I've never seen such a growing of a neck in between fights as I've seen with Wylie Zhang. I'll say it right now, man. She looks like she's on all of the supplements, and I am very, very. I see these red flags. They might be China flags. I got red flags because I am questioning her supplement intake at this point. That's all I'm gonna say.
Samantha Santos, huh?
Yes, no kidding. Yeah, don't even get me started. Don't get me started on hairy toes, Talia Santos. Hairy ass toes.
There you go, armchair.
But with Wylie, she looked outstanding in her UFC career up to that point. The knockout of Jessica Andrade, the decision win over Tisha Torres was seriously impressive. And then her first couple not that great. The Joanna champion fight, I think that's what we're heading for again here. I think we're heading for another very close 5-round war here. The power is all on Weili's side, yet she's the one who's coming off the knockout. The other thing I really don't like is all of the excuses from Weili. After the fight, it was one thing. I was like, you're emotional, you're coming off a loss, but they've continued, and like she keeps like coming up with different like excuses, and it's just a little bit, Bigfoot Santos, Harry Toes Santos, that's her real name. I know from good sources who've been close to her that
it happens.
yeah.
Time,
and then
that's why I got 4 kids. I have to release it afterwards.
Yeah, and it really, it's seriously, it's about that 5 with that energy. But this is one where I think that everybody's looking at Weili and thinking, oh, it was like an unlucky kick from Rose, and like, oh, if it happens again, the physicality takes over and everything. I love Rose Namajunas just so damn much. And she, again, training with Trevor Whitman. I think that if Trevor Whitman was in a room by himself and said, which of your 3 fighters do you care about the most? It would be Rose Namajunas.
Great call, dude.
And
Good
it will
call.
always be Rose Namajunas. So I get he has 3 different fighters on this card. The first one will and always will be Rose Namajunas. And this is going to be a 5-round war. I think it can go either way. I think the odds make sense. Slight dog money on Rose, I'm very happy with, and I'm going to be betting it. I think this goes to 5 rounds. I really do. I don't see either of these fighters getting the finish. I think this looks a lot like the second Joanna Rose fight, a lot like the Joanna Weili fight. But Rose has shown that she makes the adjustments in rematches. Her and Trevor Whitman put the game plans together. 29 years old, not coming in physically transformed. I think it's great to physically transform, but I'm also like, how are you going to carry that weight? How are you going to carry this new physicality? What happens if you don't get that finish? This is 5 rounds. Rose has gone 5 rounds multiple times here. Betting the over is definitely my call as well. And I'm a Rose simp. I am not a Rose simp at all. Like I'm really not a Rose simp at all. I am a simp, but not for Rose. I can openly talk about my simp game anytime. You can like go ahead and DM me. I'll give you my top 5 simps, but not Rose. I love Rose as a fighter. Yeah, exactly. Bunny understands. I think this goes the over. I think this is going to be really good. Weili may try to wrestle, but I don't have the confidence Weili can wrestle for 5 rounds. And and Rose is not easy to take down. Rose hits so much harder than people realize. It's probably part of why she was able to get that KO. Rose is coming into this fight mentally sharper than ever. And again, Trevor fucking Whitman, man. I know that I didn't give Trevor Whitman as much credit with the Gaethje fight, and that might be the difference with that fight as well. I will say that. But
you're already coming over. The podcast hasn't even ended, and you're already on my side.
No, I'm not. I just respect that in MMA there isn't easy money like some of these assholes say in here. I fucking hate when easy money. There's no such thing. Rose is tricky. Rose and I was just about to say this, but I'll give Indigo credit. Tricky ass grappler here. Tricky to take down, and her gas tank is endless. This girl can go for 10 rounds. Weili can go for maybe 3.5, 4 rounds. I don't know if Weili can go for 5 rounds. That's part of why it was a split against Joanna. And a lot of people had Joanna. I didn't personally. I had Weili, but it was very close. And I think Rose is miles ahead. So I got Miz with the Dev the Dude reference. That's funny. So you roll with Rose. I got Rose by decision.
And still too. I'm going with Rose Namajunas. And I said this on my podcast, and I gave it for 8 minutes. I'm going to try to condense it into one right here. When there's, especially in MMA, when you can look on the past and you can see what other fighters do, if it's the great fighters like Usman or like a Francis Ngannou or Glover, whoever the champs are, and you can kind of see their history and how they got there. Rose Namajunas has been in 3 rematches, and these are against phenomenal female talent of Tisha Torres, Jessica Andrade and Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Rematches that now Rose's IQ in the cage got better. Maybe her corner, if it's Barry or Whitman, got better. Whatever the case may be, is when she's walked into a cage in a rematch, she's 3-0 against top freaking and MMA level talent. That's 3 of the top 5 best females in the 115 of all time. And no one, everyone thinks that Rose won in a freaky way, but that's the game. Like, how many times have we seen first round knockouts to win a championship? And then everyone thinks if this fight goes 25 minutes, to me, there's no one on this planet that can tell me that Weili has the edge. Like, the edge, it goes Rose long. If you would have told me before Jacksonville, hey, Aaron, the fight stopped in 71 seconds, I'm like, holy shit, Weili's a monster. She just overcome the choo-choo train, what she did to Andrade. But that was Rose. If this
Bruno, what are you talking about?
All day long.
This is nonsense, Bruno. She exposed her because Rose was winning through 2 rounds and then held on to an armbar on a slam. So do you have Weili? That's Bruno. What? I get it. If you're picking Weili, that's fine.
Boston's just a gem. Boston's a gem.
Yeah. And she is. It's the truth. Yeah, she's the reason this channel ever happened. So everybody should give her a shout out. Thank you for encouraging me to leave those people who no longer even exist.
So Rose all day long, and I love her straight up. Give me straight up money, and I'm like I told you, I would bet Curtis and Rose. I would bet Odie and Rose. I would bet Bobby Green and Rose. Do some fun shit like that. Do a little kind of 2 fight parlays to get you guys plus 350 plus 500 money. But
Rose by
the main event.
I like Rose by decision at plus 285. Honestly, I think that's a really good price there. But we'll see. I think it's a really good fight. Again, I'm not discrediting Weili either. Like, I don't want to make it better. Aaron's a Rose simp. Aaron's a what are these, Justin? I don't know what you're even saying, Justin. As usual, I don't know what Justin's saying. I'm not a simp to any fighters fighting on this card, guys. I will never deny my symptom when I am, but this isn't the call here. I just like Rose as a fighter. We're just friends. But next fight here, the main event, another rematch, awesome rematch. Why can't you give Weili props? I'm just giving. Again, Bruno, we don't have a lot of time here. We got like about 3 minutes left, frankly. Like 3 to 5 minutes. Dave's a busy man with 5 kids.
I'm sorry, it's my fault, guys. It's my fault.
Yeah. But yeah, but I do respect Weili. I just had to kind of speed through that. We're going to go through this fight also a little bit quicker. Colby Covington versus Kamaru Usman here. Colby Covington coming off of 1 win to get a title shot, basically sat out and just waited around. His win was getting Tyron Woodley to quit. Before that, had a really close fight with Kamaru Usman. I frankly just think that Kamaru Usman learned a lot from that first fight, has a lot of confidence coming into this fight. I think Kamaru puts him away, frankly, at some point inside of 3 rounds. I don't have too much to really say about this fight. I hate to say that when it comes to this main event on such a great card, but I just think that for me, like, I just am not giving Colby a real shot to win here, honestly. I don't think he deserves this title shot. I don't think that I think he fought as well as he possibly could against Camaro the first time, and I don't think he replicates that here. Camaro takes it.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I hate to do this.
I hate to do it, dude.
I recorded 4 podcasts this week. I talked to Felicia Spencer for like 18 minutes about this card, and we barely talked about this fight. It's crazy because usually main events and MSG, like you look so forward to it. I don't know. It doesn't do anything for me because Usman has exponentially have gotten better in the last 18 months. And we've seen Colby Covington fight Woodley. The one little thing, I will say this, the one little sleeper, and I want this to be, are we recording? We're recording right now?
This thing's on. This thing's on.
The sleeper thing is, I'm just going to throw this out there. I'm picking Usman, 99%. But if the one thing, Colby Covington has been training hard at MMA Masters. MMA Masters are very sneaky, slippery, some kind of odd transition to a sub that you're like, holy crap, we just saw that. And Colby can get some kind of sub any round, doesn't matter. Usually round 1 or 2, you get a sneaky submission. When you get later and they get sweaty and Usman gets sweaty, that'd be harder. Other than that, guys, Usman's just got so much better. How he looked against Gilbert Burns, how he's looked against the second Jorge fight. Yeah, it's like I hate to do it.
Yeah,
Usman.
And the price is wrong here. I'm not betting it much, if at all.
Yeah,
honestly,
I guess you got to bet Usman to finish. I think that gets you around that 175, 150. That's the way to go. But Usman's going to win this fight unless something wild happens in a sub by Colby Covington.
Yeah. I mean, we saw the first time it was a war. That was a few years ago now. And in that time, Kamaru's fought double, triple as much as Colby has in the same time. So it's just
Jorge twice. And
and Colby definitely was up early. So, it's again, if you think you guys are insane, if you think Usman gets a finish that fast, Colby uses forward flying a lot. I mean, I didn't say, I don't know. I didn't say that. But yeah. And just
a fast finish, third round finish. I just think Usman's more powerful and his striking's getting so much prettier and just his technique is better and the power's better. I think, dude, he hit Colby Covington a lot. Like he hit him a lot. And if he gets that kind of opportunities in this fight, I think he finishes it sooner. That's all I'm going to say with that.
And I get it. And I just want to talk to a couple of the kids in the room right now, and then we're going to call it a day. Bruno, I don't know why I would feel silly if Wylie won. I would not feel silly at all. We talked about the fight, so it was a very close fight, and just a few of the intangibles were edging with Rose. So if Wylie wins, then welcome to MMA. We're wrong. We're going to be wrong 5-6 times on this card, probably. It's one of the beautiful parts about it. And then Joey, I get it. You got Colby here. You got a big underdog price on him too. If I was on Colby, I'd be so excited. You got him at like plus 200, plus 275. Got some -3. I think the price is way up. I don't make the odds. I'm just picking Camaro, and I'm not going to have it in a whole lot of parlays. So it will be a good way to kind of finish up the event, being able to kind of sit back and just enjoy two super high quality welterweights in there, because both belong in there. But I just want to ask real quick, and then I'm going to say goodbye. Khamzat or Kamaru, everybody, and then go ahead and say goodbye. But would you bet Khamzat at plus 170, which is what he'd be lined at right now? Would you bet it? Yes or no? Be honest.
Yes. Plus 170. Yeah, I would probably take Khamzat at 170. And everyone in the comments, you guys were incredible. Miz and Justin won the T-shirts. One of them's already hit me up. I haven't hit the Twitter yet. I will get you your shirts. I'm a man of my word. Khamzat at plus 170. And I think if that opens, I think
Buddy's so mad at me.
Guys with Usman will bet more. I think Khamzat will probably end at over plus 200. And you take it.
I would too. And Bunny, I know you're mad. I'm sorry, but I think I would take it. I don't know who wins.
Enjoy it.
Seriously.
There's so much hate and so many people get upset all the time. And so many enjoy UFC 268. This is going to be a great show. Boston, you're an amazing
I regret doing this now.
I know you ended with that. It was probably the greatest podcast that's ever been recorded. Aaron, you're the best, dude. You make money to everyone. You're the man.
Yeah, honestly, shout out to Dave here, making the time. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. This was an awesome show. Dave will definitely be on at some point with Bunny. You guys got some strong simp game. There's look at there, Dean. I'm only a simp for this guy right here. I am a simp for the person who gives me a platform, literally. Go follow Dave. Put your social media names in there real quick for Visceral. Will you put your social media names in there one more time, Dave? Just for everybody. Yeah, but
my name at David Van Auken. Like I'm everywhere.
Literally everywhere. Yeah, just Google it. Fight Bananas. Check them out as well. I'm a simp for Dave, though. That is straight up what I'm a simp for. Enjoy the fights, everybody. Keep taking care of each other out there, and peace out. We are out. As you can see, Dave left early. He pulled the bunny, so he pulled the leave before the show's really over. But